And now, Giant Sports Talk Live. Here are your hosts, Eric and Glenn.
We're talking Giants every day. From McCovey Cove to the Oracle Park lights, Eric and Glenn keep the fire burning bright, fighting for the glory, no matter what it costs us, breaking down the moments from the wins to the losses. Giant Sports Talk, we're here for the ride. Eric and Glenn with the fan base pride, talking dreams, will they contend? But we'll back the Giants till the very end. Let's go, Giants! Yes, yes, yes! Oh! Eric and Glenn breaking it down, all Giants all the time.
All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Giant Sports Talk Live, the first show of 2026. Lou is back. It's awesome to see you again. I know everyone has plans for the holiday, so it's good to see you back. And of course, my good buddy, good old pal Glenn. We're back after taking a small hiatus. Yeah, small hiatus. As I think everyone's deserving of having a small little hiatus and just being able to relax, enjoy the holidays. Was hoping by the time we came here on January 5th, year of our Lord 2026, that we would be able to talk about some significant Giants news, but it's not to be had. So, Glenn, Lou, what is up, guys?
Hey, buddy. Good to see Lou back, too. Eric, before we really get the show flying tonight, can I take care of some New Year's
Absolutely.
housekeeping? A couple of things. Wanted to show you a couple of things I got over the holidays, Eric. So, you know, I'm a big collector. Got a 1907 Dartmouth Holy Cross Gem freaking mint football ticket.
What the hell is this?
Wow. That's a beauty.
God,
And
it was
I also
$1 in
got
1907? $1?
You know what, man? It must have been a big game. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Picked up a couple other ones that, you know, like they don't really mean anything to you guys. I got a Rutgers Pit for my Rutgers collection there. Nothing important. Eric, you know this name? How about this one?
Ray Schalk.
Little catcher there. Got a card, Giants. And this is cool, Eric. So, you know, I like to collect things off the, you know, right now I'm amassing a collection, an autographed card of every player who spent time in prison, including Mel Hall. Picked up a Mel Hall over the holidays. He's in prison.
What's he notorious for?
Child stuff we talked about.
Oh, never mind.
So, usually I like to, you know, I say this in jest, but I like to stick to the guys who've, you know, like murdered somebody or, you know, keep it clean here. Like I'd rather burn the ones for those other guys. That's kind of disgusting. How about this one, Eric? I picked up from the Gas House Gang, the Cardinals, Ernie Orsatti. Okay?
Nice.
Outfielder. Now, Ernie Orsatti had a son named Ernie F. Orsatti.
Okay.
And you know, in your expertise of you read a lot, Eric, you watch different documentaries. So you know a lot of the players, a lot of them were in vaudeville.
Yeah, they
They
were.
were private detectives. They did anything to make a buck. They didn't make the money the players made.
Hey, some wrestled alligators.
That's right. So Ernie Orsatti, he was a stuntman. In silent films. And you know, they got, you know, the silent films were a little, you know, they were crashing.
Yeah, them
cars.
Buster Keaton. Those Buster Keatons were no joke.
Well, his son, they say, and I really, you know, to be honest with you, I've only seen the clip. His son, Ernie F. Orsatti, son of the great Ernie Orsatti of the Gas House Gang Cardinals, mid-30s. His son was the stuntman who, if you saw the original, the Poseidon Adventure, went through the skylight and boom. You saw that?
Him,
so Lou knows that one. So anyway, I'm going to watch that. That's just some of my pickups. Oh, and one more, Eric. This is going to talk to you. This is going to speak to you. All right. When I saw this, I had to have it.
All right, here we go. Do you see where we've been devolved to?
Yeah, but it's a great way to start the new year, Eric. How about this, my friend? If I had to ask you, what was our favorite thing to do in 2025?
Most of the time, running the end credits of Giants Sports Talk.
Okay, wrong answer. It was a night at the ballpark with Lou and Danny.
Absolutely.
The bridge pizza.
You remember, guys? You remember the infamous called shot?
The called shot.
How about my new T-shirt?
Did you have that made?
Should have walked him. I'm telling you, Wilmer.
Oh man, dude,
that, baby, for the
that's
collection.
awesome. That's awesome.
So there you go. I picked that up. And a couple of things I wanted to get out of the way before we started the show. This went a little longer than I expected. Armand got an award. Our award show was on New Year's Eve.
I saw him in the chat. What's up, Armand?
Yeah, he got the award for contributor. He contributed a lot statistically, jumped in a lot of shows. Our fan of the year was, I don't think Lou knew this, the one and the only Morkatna.
Yeah.
Morkatna was chosen fan of the year, so we got to get in touch with Morkatna and get his award. And we also, Eric, had the what was it called? We had the award for in appreciation of your contributions to Giant Sports Talk Live in 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Ian went home earlier. I'd have a drum roll. You didn't see this. We've got the Golden Crystal Award for 2025. It went out to Lou Marsden.
Hey, look at that.
Thanks, guys.
I knew he didn't know. I said, you watch the show? He goes, I watched for a little while, but the other guy wouldn't shut up there, so I just shut up. So there you go, Lou. Lou gets the crystal.
Absolutely.
It was a lot of fun, Lou. We hoped you would be here. Overall, it was such a fun show. We talked about baseball a little bit. We talked about what we did in the last year. It was our first full year, Eric and I. And I'll tell you what, I had a lot of fun with Eric, and Eric's a good buddy of mine now. Lou, welcome to the fold. And Lou brings along a new... Eric, we welcome anybody who brings a new sponsor. Tommy's Mexican, Eric.
Yeah, how about that? Yeah, and hey, you know what? Since we're at it, wait, what is Tommy's all about? Let's check it out. Okay. Again,
I have not seen this.
We haven't even got the show started yet.
Hey, there's no commentary, but it will using the pictures and the music will do its justice. Here we go. There we go.
I saw in the chat someone said, Lou, Glenn, and Eric, you guys should be eating in the commercial. We're going to be doing live shows from Tommy's, guys. Once the season, probably like in late March, maybe before the season. And then definitely going to try to do something maybe once a month where we can meet you guys and have a little fun. Hey, one thing I did
absolutely.
want to talk about, Eric and Glenn, now that we start the year and I'm here permanently, the lawyers are still going over the contracts, but I feel everything's going to be resolved. I hope you guys are all okay, especially with Glenn being in the city with this rain, Eric. I've never seen it like this, where it's atrocious wind. My flight flying back Friday from Reno is usually 40 minutes. It was 4 hours and 53 minutes. We couldn't land because of the wind and because of the storm surge. Yesterday, I had a little thing for a family obligation for my dad, and just getting to Mill Valley was unbelievable. So I hope you're okay where you are, Eric, and I hope, Glenn, the ballpark is still standing, because I've never seen rain like this. Just tremendous time, especially at night, and I want to make sure everyone's safe. And it's good to be back in this.
Good call, because I'll tell you what, in our backyard, we have a little depression. We got a nice sized grass, and then we have a little depression. It's like a dry creek. We got a bunch of river rock. This is what the previous owners had done. We put a nice little bridge over it, but there's a little depression. And when it rains pretty hard, it will flood up a little bit. But this is the highest I've ever. It was a good 1.5 to 2 feet of water sitting in that damn depression. And I was like, what in the hell is going on? I mean, so much water in a short amount of time. It was nuts around here. The wind, of course, wasn't too bad. That was more around Christmas time, but yeah, the rain was just insane.
No flooding here around the ballpark area, but the only depression for me. Thank you, Eric, for that keen intro. The big setup on a silver platter. The only depression for me has been a lack of movement by the San Francisco Giants, man. It's like, dude, I'm telling you, I'm a little frustrated. I know Lou is. Eric, you can start the ball rolling.
I'll tell you what, before we will come to the Giants, I promise you. Before we get to there, let's get into the MLB first. I don't want to talk Giants yet. I really don't. I'd rather end on it than begin on it, because all it's going to do is put me in one pissed off mood, and I'd rather be pissed off while we're done with it than while we're in the middle of the show here, because this is
usually pissed off.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's news that came out today. We'll get into it. There's an article I want to put out by a matter of fact, Lou, you might actually appreciate this one. By your favorite reporter, Susan Slusser. She wrote an interesting article in the Chronicle, but it's noted as there's good points in it, though. There is good points. So we'll bring that up a little bit later, and then we could talk about it again when we get into the Giants. But I want to start to show what the heck is going on with free agency. Lou, Glenn, since the last time we talked all together, right? Nobody is signed as far as the big guys. I mean, you got Framber and Ranger and Bellinger and Bichette and Alex Bregman and now Zach Gallen and God, I can't. Eugenio Suarez. I mean, gosh, I can't remember. I'll have to take a look at the list to see who else is out there.
I'm putting that Toronto Blue Jays signing in as one of the big boys, Eric. You watch, that guy's going to hit 40 or 50 home runs this year. We couldn't even afford him. I'm telling you.
Well, we're going to get into it now. JT Realmuto is still out there. I mean, this is just
Realmuto can't hit.
It's but I'm just saying. But there's guys out there that still haven't signed, and it's weird. And this has nothing to do with the Giants. I'm just talking about free agency in general. There's a lot of teams out there, and now and I almost want to say, hey, maybe we should start. Maybe the winter meetings should be around this time rather than the beginning of December, because at least you get some freaking action. Because right now it's been dead as a doornail. I mean, yeah, they had the Dylan Cease was right off the rip, and then eventually Schwarber signed. There was a few trades between the Mets and the Rangers, and I think what's his name? Grayson Rodriguez went from the Orioles to the Angels. So look, we'll talk more about the Giants stuff, but I just want to get into this. Let's start with this, guys. And again, no one's right or wrong, because this is just guessing, because all these guys are out here. The biggest pitcher on the market right now, Framber Valdez. Where do you guys think? Glenn, I'll start out with you. Where do you think Framber? We don't have to give a range of a contract. Just what team do you think winds up snagging Framber? I mean, if you want to give numbers, that's fine.
I mean, we're going to do more than one player, I hope. But
yes, we are.
Yeah, I'm strictly guessing. I mean, I could be left field. I could get them all.
That's all it could be.
Framber. Mm-hmm. Just a sec. You throw to Lou first.
Lou, where do you think Framber Valdez, the big lefty, where does he sign?
One of two places.
Okay.
I think he either goes to Philly
Ooh.
or he stays with Houston.
You think he stays in Houston? Wow.
Because he sees the free agent isn't as good as he thought. I'm going to come back, and instead of him thinking he can get a big 3 or 4 year deal, I will come back home. Maybe, yeah. And I think maybe one of the things we spoke about, I'd say after the baseball playoffs, which I know you spoke about the other day, were incredible. I mean, it's unbelievable how much the playoffs still stick with me. Is maybe next year with the lockout, it's really affecting the signees more than we really thought it would be. Because a lot of these guys want 2-3 year deals, but maybe teams are saying, hey, there might not be a next year. So we're not going to sign you, and you either sign with us 1 year or you're going to have to do some kind of special opt-out every year. And a lot of these players, when you get your second or third or maybe final contract, you want to have something set in stone for a while. You don't want to have to worry about moving again. And I possibly think that because, it's been so quiet and there's got to be a reason. And I'm really thinking maybe with next year with no determination, I assume a lot of the stuff might happen. Maybe the World Baseball Classic is holding a bunch of stuff up that we don't know about because, as you see, some of these guys want to pitch in the World Baseball Classic. They want to pitch, for their country. But the teams that are signing them say, no, you got to do one or the other right now. Someone like, with us, our guy's proven point. He's going to be with us another 3 years. He's been pitching 200 innings the last 3 years. He deserves a shot to pitch in the World Baseball Classic. So, but some of these other guys, maybe not. There's so much money out there. Hey, I don't want you to pitch in an exhibition. I want you to save your thing for spring training and be ready for opening day. I mean, we got to remember opening day is March 25th is the Giants opener. It's a lot earlier than normal. We open it, but when you look at it, it's pitchers and catchers are going to be going, 5 weeks. So you got to start thinking something's going to happen. I know.
It's going to be here before you know it, man. I mean, we're talking just about a month, and it's pitchers and catchers. Glenn, what did you go? Okay, you have your time here.
Nah, I wanted to see Lou's take first, and I didn't realize we were going to do this tonight, Eric. I was hoping it would be, somewhat later on, because I left my Schwami outfit in the trunk of the Beamer.
The Schwami.
Yeah, so let me go down here, Eric. I'm going to look into the old crystal ball.
Ooh.
Oh, shit. What is going on here?
Me and Eric have never seen a crystal ball. We just know the 8 ball.
Yeah. That's what the Giants roll with is the 8 ball. First of all, my crystal ball, it says Lou's wrong. So that's out of the way.
Oh, man. Right
and
off
it says
the rip.
Framber goes to, can you see that? Can you see it in there, Eric? Look. The Boston Red Sox. He's going to go to the Boston Red Sox.
Boston Red Sox. Holy crap, really?
That's what the crystal ball says, dude.
Okay.
I'd argue with it.
Okay, that's interesting. Okay,
I'm going to go with the crystal ball.
I think he goes to Baltimore. I'm going to say that. I think Baltimore is being bold this year.
Wow.
So we got Lou either going back to Houston or Philly. You're saying, well, I take it back. The crystal ball is saying the Red Sox.
Yeah, so I won't take it. I can't take blame in any of it now.
Nice.
Get a new crystal ball. That's all.
And I wanted to start off with the pitcher because, well, that's going to kind of tail into what we're going to talk about with the Giants a little bit later. The biggest bat on the market, of course, is going to be Kyle Tucker, right? We'll just say Kyle Tucker. Where does Kyle Tucker go? Glenn, you want to take this one or you want to defer to Lou first?
Oh, no. I'm going to defer to the ball. It says, Eric, that the Toronto Blue Jays signed the big bat that's going to surprise baseball this year.
Ooh. Okay, Lou.
They signed him already, Eric. And I believe they get Tucker as well. They go big with the bats. The Blue Jays are building something special. They pick up a Japanese slugger, Eric, a guy. If he hits it, He's like a Matt Stairs. You grip it, rip it. If you don't K, it's going over the fence. And if they add Tucker with a little skill set, Eric, this Blue Jay team, we were doing the trade deadline show a year and a half ago. They had no pitching. They looked worse than the Giants, Eric. And look what they did in a year and a half. That is what disrupted me most about the San Francisco Giants. Lou, take it away. Don't say Toronto. I already picked it. I mean, the crystal ball pick.
I've heard 3 people on 3 different networks shows saying he's definitely signing an 8-year deal with an opt-out after the 3rd, 5th, and 6th year, and he's playing in Canada.
Are you listening to Chardal or me? One of the two.
I'm telling you. And their opt-outs might even be more. But yeah, I think he's definitely going 100. And with that signing, I know we're going to talk about another guy. That means they're going to be looking for a new infielder because they're not going to sign who we think, and we'll get to that too. But I think he's definitely going to Toronto.
Okay.
Eric, can I interject? Let me look back into the crystal ball, and it says Lou got that one right. So there you go.
And guess what? It's a clean sweep. Toronto Blue Jays. I think he goes to the Toronto Blue Jays. There's no. That's what I'm feeling, man. That's what I'm feeling. It's again a gut instinct, right? So yeah, here we go. All 3 of us, and I think a lot of the chat were saying in there too. Kyle Tucker going to the Blue Jays. And it's funny how you said that, Lou, because the next guy that you were alluding to was the very next guy I was going to talk about. Young Bo Bichette. Where do we think Bo Bichette is going? Lou, you started off. Where's Bo going?
I think one of the things that makes the team down south so good is they're thinking of the future. We don't know how much longer the big 3 are going to go. And they're getting a guy where they're going to bring their second or shortstop back to outfield. And Bichette's going to fit right in that lineup. And you thought he was good in Toronto? Imagine him with some protection in LA. LA signing for the future. It's going to be probably a nice 6-year deal because you got to remember, their big 3 are getting older. Ohtani's young, yes. Yeah. But Freeman, people think Freeman just joined the league. People forget he was with Atlanta for 10 years. So that's what makes the difference between the Giants and the Dodgers. They have a plan. So every couple of years, they want to bring in a superstar. So when they have somebody older, they can let him go, and they have somebody to fill that position. So I think, especially, that you don't have that much money. But I think Bichette's definitely going to be a Dodger.
Bichette is going to be a Dodger. Glenn.
I'm seeing blue and white, Eric, but the team I think, this is a personal feeling again, the team that I think would be the smartest to sign him, I think they got a buffoon at second base they'd love to move off of, just get Bichette and move off Chisholm. And I think he'd be a great Yankee, Eric. In the AL East, and he'll want to go. If you're Bo Bichette, again, I think Bichette's young, and he likes. Again, Lou's got a great point. He wants to. He's one of those guys, I think, that has the mentality. I don't want to go and make big money and play in Colorado or Anaheim or Pittsburgh. I want to go to a team that at least gives me a chance to play postseason baseball, and I think that's the Yankees. But I still think there'll be room. The Jays are going to sign him. He's going to stay with Vladdy, blue and white. He stays in Canada.
And I think he goes to the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers are going to open it up, and I think they're going to get him. I totally could see this. They already went and got their closer in Edwin Diaz, and I think they need a second baseman. And what are Dodgers good at? Well, hey, just offering a bunch of freaking money to free agents. And I could totally see him. And can you imagine that lineup with freaking Bichette in the middle of that? All right, or wherever. I mean, hell, wherever you put it. I mean, that's just going to be ridiculous, man. Absolutely ridiculous.
It's better than an all-star team.
Oh, yeah, it
really
is.
Think about it.
It is. Right. You're talking about all-star type of freaking lineup, and I could totally see the Dodgers going out there and getting Bo Bichette. Yep.
We can talk about it later, but this is another reason why we got this. We're going to have the horns are going to lock between the players and the owners. And I just think they got to save baseball. There's got to be a better structure for paying players that allows teams. I mean, the Pittsburghs and the Milwaukees and the Colorado, they can't compete. It's just it'll ruin it if it hasn't already. Ruining the game of baseball. You got owners that don't want to spend. You got teams that just can't compete with these teams.
Well,
it's making a mockery of the game, Eric.
Here's the problem. There are owners that want to spend, but then there's others that don't. And there you go. That's the problem. The next guy, Alex Bregman. He's a free agent out there. Hell, I'll go first. Why not? Alex Bregman, where does he go? Back to the Red Sox. I think he goes back to the Red Sox. They made a pretty good run there last year. Almost beat the Yankees, and I could see going back to the Red Sox. What do you say, Glenn?
I say Detroit. I think he has a chance. The same thing with Bichette. He has a chance to win, and I think Detroit's going to spend the money because they know that you talk about a short window. This is their year, Eric. They're going to lose their pitcher, so they're going to go all in. They're going to sign him, and I think he wants to go somewhere where, again, he can compete. Detroit, as much as I don't even like their line, I just don't like anybody on that team. I'm not a Detroit fan, don't like the unis, don't like anything about the team, but they always compete, Eric. They're always there. So I think with that pitching situation, they're going to roll, get a big guy like him, and that's where I think he goes. You could be right, though. Everybody said
okay, Detroit. Who knows, right? We're just spitballing here. Lou Bregman.
I'm going to take a flyer since they're going to lose Tucker. I think, how about the Cubs do the same thing? Sign him to maybe a 3-year deal with an opt-out after one where he can be a free agent because they need a superstar. They've lost Tucker. They have a young team. You bring somebody there, a little, some guy that's a proven winner. Cubs do it. Why not? So I'm going to sort of take a flyer and say the Cubs. We didn't think they'd sign Tucker.
There's certain players though. Don't you think, Eric? There's certain players. I mean, if you just look at it from the outside, and certain players just you don't picture them in a uniform, and I don't picture him in a Cubs uniform, even though it could happen. I just look strange in that uniform.
Look a little weird, yeah. Sometimes it is seeing a player in a different uniform, right?
Yeah. Who's left?
I'm not doing every single freaking because I'm not talking about the Reese Hoskins and the Luis Arias and all
steam coming out of my crystal ball. I'm ready to go, Eric. Come on.
I know. Who else we got out there? I know you got Eugenio Suarez. He's a big bat, but God, who am I missing?
Harrison.
I think I see the Tin Man in there. I think Harrison? I see the Tin Man and Toto in there, Eric. Bedard.
Oh, Bader, Harrison Bader.
Harrison Bader.
I'm trying to think of who else is really someone worth.
Bellinger. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Armand.
Bellinger. Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Bellinger. Lou, where do you think?
I think New York Yankees. I don't think the Yankees can really let him leave. It's one of those where I think they're sort of desperate, and he's got to go there.
Right.
I agree with you.
Okay. I think he goes to the Yankees. His father played for the Yankees. He loved playing for New York. Supposedly, I guess there's a report out there he wants to stay in New York. So he goes to the Yankees. I forgot about Ranger Suarez. Where do you think Glenn, where does Ranger Suarez go?
Oh, Texas.
Texas?
Yeah. Okay. They got to sign somebody. I'm just going all over the map here. I'm just where I picture.
You know what you're doing? You're doing this. Sticking it and then putting.
It's the ball, Eric.
Blue, where does Ranger Suarez go? The lefty.
I'm going to say, because they're young. God, I'm trying to think between two teams in our division, but I'm going to say the Padres.
You think they're going to drop money for? Wow. Okay. All right.
I
think he goes back
one
to
of those things. And the one thing I did want to bring up with Glenn is if that guy goes to the Yankees, who did you say was going to the Yankees again?
Bichette.
Tucker. Bichette. The Giants should be on the phone with the Yankees trying to get Grissom, because if you saw his numbers last year, he carried the Yankees for a while when Judge was in that slump. You know, he plays second base. He can hit. He's got Giants written all over him. Strikes out a lot, but he can hit. So if Glenn's right on that, Giants better at least make an attempt to get someone like Grissom, because he would be our superstar. We don't really have a superstar.
Let me ask you something, Eric. Is it just me? Is it the month of December, you got to admit, Eric, throw me a bouquet here. I really picked it up. I was excited about the team. I was getting a little more passionate. I don't know. That ball fell on New Year's Eve, and it was like, it was like Ramos dropped it in left field, because I'm back to thinking, I'm looking at the line, and quite frankly, Eric, for me, no matter who they add to this team, I'm just sour on the organization right now. I'm just sour, wondering how we compete, because it's just too much of a befuddled mess. It's like this. I haven't done it yet. I've got my Wilmer Flores puzzle, and like Lou always says, he's got me worried. There's going to be a freaking piece missing when I put this together. There's going to be more pieces missing that the Giants just got to build around, Eric. And I know you're going to get to it. This organization has to know that they're in trouble before we're not even at camp yet. There's going to be problems with this team, Eric.
All right, let's just go ahead. Let's just rip the freaking Band-Aid off, right? Let's rip the Band-Aid off. Let's talk some Giants now, guys. This is getting really difficult to talk about, and I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. The frustration. And Glenn, you heard me when towards the end of the season and in the beginning of the offseason, I thought the Giants are going to be doing something significant. I really did. And
is that around the time I started calling you Eric Rothberg? Yeah, you every 2 weeks you're like, next week it's coming. I thought you had to put the ball of your own.
And I'm becoming a little disillusioned now. Does that mean nothing's going to happen? No, it doesn't mean nothing's going to happen. Something can happen. Absolutely, something can happen. But the more time passes and the more of these type of moves that the Giants are making, it's getting tough, man. It's getting tough. All right, let's talk about it. The news of today. Shit, let me bring up the Twitter.
Hey, Eric, while you're doing that,
already.
The one thing is there's so much news about the Giants, and you're going to have the NFL playoffs going. Why would a Giants fan go to the Fan Fest down in San Jose on January 17th? Tell me, why would you go? There's no excitement. They're doing it when they also have the football playoffs going. I mean, it's just.
And there you go. Glenn or Lou, you hit on something. You missed a huge opportunity. When baseball was front and center, you could have been out there and been the talk of the town. Now you got NFL playoffs on the horizon, and baseball's no one's going to give a shit. No one's going to give a shit. And you had the opportunity, and now whatever. I'm not going to even get into that. But look at this. This was from Zach Manasian, the lovely GM of the San Francisco Giants. Giants will keep looking through free agent and trade options, but said they are very comfortable with the 5 starters that we have and the young depth behind those guys. Again, this is coming from Alex. Who are the 5 that they're comfortable with? Just like I've been saying since they signed Malley, it's Logan Webb, Robbie Ray, Adrian Hauser, Landon Roop, and Malley. I can't remember his first name. That is what the organization is saying that they're very comfortable with. Your number 5 pitcher hasn't even got close. He hasn't even sniffed 100 innings pitched for the last 4 years. This is, and seriously, is this? I don't understand it. I'm trying to wrap my head around it, and I can't, because this is not the way forward. I'm just sorry, it isn't. I understand having depth. I understand if you wanted to have Adrian Hauser as your number 4 and then Landon Roop as your 5, and then you went out there and got a legitimate starting pitcher. And look, maybe there's a trade, because they're also doing, and we'll get into this as well, that there's trade talk, but we all know how that freaking goes. Can you sit there and say, and with a straight face, and say that you're very comfortable with these 5 going into the season? I mean, Glenn, Lou, let me hear it from you guys. Are you very comfortable? Again, this is the organization saying this.
It's the fact that the Giants do this all the time, Eric. They always got to say that, for lack of a better term, they say it in one way or another. It all comes out the same, Eric. It's a pile of shit. They say the same thing every year, and during the season, you break it down. We were talking about our manager in midseason last year when we couldn't win a freaking game against the Columbus Clippers, Eric. But we're backing him. We're backing our manager. Yeah, bullshit. You were canning his ass. You got in a new manager. Everything's BS with this team, Eric. And it's just they're trying to stroke the fan base into thinking, into just believing their BS that, we're going to be. Eric, they're content. What was the term you used? They're content. They're what?
Comfortable.
Okay, they're comfortable competing for fourth place in the division again. And I can't handle that. Lou?
Let me ask you two this. Is this starting five better than what we had last year, where we were basically a 500 team? It's worse. Okay. Also, last year, we had two other guys competing for the fifth spot. We don't even have that. So really, and then here's the other thing. This is just Giants. Our supposedly ace wants to pitch in the WBC. Knowing the Giants' luck, and I know Glenn's talked about this, where he's been super healthy, knowing the Giants, something will happen to him. So really now, we're going to be down to a guy that's only going to be here for 1 year. It's going to be a lot of pressure. And here's the other thing. With that lineup, and you go 3, 4, 5, can any of those guys be a stopper? Say the Giants lose the first 2 games of the series. Do you believe 3, 4, 5 that any of these guys are going to be the stopper to stop it? They just look like when you were saying about the Band-Aid, instead of a Band-Aid, you have 2 pieces of Scotch tape because you need a bigger thing. It's just a safe play for right now, and it's going to tell you what we're trying. We're trying. If we need something, we'll wait till the trade deadline. This team is worse than last year. If you remember at the very end, Buster said the fans deserve better. But then you get Mania saying we're comfortable with what we have. Are you kidding me? It's almost like those two don't even talk. Because why would Buster go on a limb and say, I want this team to be better because the fans deserve it? And then you get Mania saying, I think we're pretty good. What do you mean you're pretty good? You're worse than last year. That's like the worst thing a GM can say. Yep. It's sort of like the Giants are a family of misfits, and you're hearing from each misfit that says, well, it can't get worse, so I think it's better. And it just doesn't make sense, some of these guys. I mean, again, we are talking like we're the Colorado Rockies of the division. We're happy with what we have, and we're hoping it'll be better. We're not talking about the San Francisco Giants. And, it's sort of upsetting. We have guys that, you might have a great point, Eric. We're not even sure if he is a starter. He's more maybe a middle relief guy. We have a guy, Roop, last year that we all thought was good, and he wasn't. He had arm problems. The one thing about the Giants, too, is all these guys we get, if you look through their history, except for Webb, they've all had arm problems. Ray, Tommy John. We got him because Arizona wasn't sure, if he was going to be healthy. They had to make the trade. Seattle, excuse me. We have all these guys that have all these question marks. Again, I go back to the classic toys and misfits. We have guys that have been, the right arm is actually a left, but we moved the fingers because we had to restitch them together. We got him cheap. It's not good. It's not a good look when, in 12 days, who's going to be excited to see Casey Schmidt in a cast signing autographs, Lucille in the rain? You get Bryce Eldridge, but again, he's still more of a minor league superstar. He's not the major league. And you get to see Tony V. I would never travel to San Jose to see that. That doesn't get you anything exciting. I'm more excited about the hat that Glenn's wearing with the logo, and I want to know where I can get one. That's what excites me.
I'm only excited. Lou, one of the highlights for me, I'm only excited when I see this guy show up at the mall.
Yeah, the crab.
There you go.
By
Hey, he's
today-
all
by the
excited.
way,
I thought he was excited. I think he's just frustrated. Look,
Glenn,
Lou,
I don't
you
know if you
nailed it.
know, but crab season actually officially started today in the Bay Area. So now you can
well, there you
go get fresh crab. But
Well,
yeah,
I tell you
it's-
what,
Where do you get that information, Eric? Only on Giant Sports Talk Live.
only
And I
on
threw
Giant
out-
Sports Talk Live.
I threw
Well,
out
you
the
know
link, Eric.
when it is crabbing season in the Bay Area. There you go. Nowhere
Yeah.
else will you hear that. And Lou, I want to reiterate something that you mentioned. You're talking about is Maniason and Buster Posey talking. Sure, they are, but right now they're not, because you know where Buster Posey is? Where's Buster Posey? Anyone know where Buster Posey is? He's
I don't
somewhere
know.
with.
I don't know, but I think that slip of the tongue was better, Eric. What would you just call him, Buster Poser?
Did I say that? Buster Posey. I might have said that.
Yeah,
But where's he at? He's in Korea with Willie Adames and Jung Hoo Lee and Tony Vitello. That's where they're at.
And don't forget, Eric, we got a manager. We
Why?
don't even know what we're going to get from him.
I
He's
don't
not going to be playing third base
Hey,
or
I don't
second
know.
base or the outfield. He's not going to win us. He can only, there's too many question marks for me, Lou. Eric, I don't
tell you
know.
what, and here's the question. We're in the middle of the off season still, and then we got people going off to Korea, whatever. Hey, it is what it is. They could do whatever the hell they want, but look, do you understand the vibes that I'm talking about here? What I mean by vibes, actually, let me say this. Let me clarify the perception. The perception of the San Francisco Giants this offseason has been absolutely horrendous. You go out there and your owner goes out there and throws a freaking an ice bucket of water all over the fan base. You go out there and you buy a freaking theater for whatever reason. And now we got the Pobo hanging out in Korea. Now, look, like I said, he could do whatever he wants, but why? Don't we have other pressing matters here? Are we? Is that signaling that we're okay? We're done? Is that it?
Well, how come when they're hanging over?
Is that the signaling that we have as a fan base that, hey, there's nothing on the horizon? Because there was talk yesterday, Glenn. The Giants, here we go. And I hate saying this shit because it gets old and it never works out ever. First off, has there ever been a time where the Giants have signed a player where the reports have been the Giants are interested in? Have they ever signed a player that they were interested in? Ever?
It's part of the problem. I was going to say too, Eric, you can spend
haven't.
all the time you want in Korea and Japan and China, but how come we're not signing anybody over there except Teng Wei Hang or whatever? Well, I don't even know how to say his name anymore.
There was news that the Giants were interested in trading for Edward Cabrera, which hey, I'm all for that.
There's about 9 other teams.
Hold on. I'm all for that. Now it's going to cost you a shit ton, whether it's off of the MLB roster or whether it's prospects, because he's got 3 years of control. So, I mean, and what are we doing here? Honestly, what are we doing here? Because look, that if you go out there and get Edward Cabrera, well, now look, we're doing something. But I don't put stock in that. I'm tired of hearing it because it leads to nothing. And then today, like this is yesterday, right? Giants may be in on Edward Cabrera. Well, today, Zach Manasian comes out and just says, hey, we're very, not just comfortable, not okay, very comfortable. And again, you got to take it for what they say. I mean, and if that's not even the truth, then why even go out there and say it? There's other words you can use rather than saying, hey, we're very comfortable. I mean,
Cabrera's going to New York, Eric. One side or he's going to go to New York.
Well, I know that the Yankees are also in on Alcantara, if I'm not mistaken, which is also
Eric, don't piss me off, Eric. They're in on players. They actually get them signed. That's the problem.
There's something to
that. I throw a link, and before we piss him off royally in the new year, Mike Val wanted to come on contribute.
Yeah, go for it.
There he is.
Hey, fellas, Happy New Year.
Hey, Happy New Year to you, Mike. What's up, man?
Not too much, man. Just a breath of fresh air to hear you guys talking again. And
the Giants too.
Yeah, just about the Giants, really. But for sure, like I was thinking, most of the offseason, a lot of Giants pundits thought we were going after pitchers, and from the get go, I was thinking, well, maybe instead of looking at Mad Max with the green eye, blue eye, or Justin Verlander again, we could look at somebody Buster Posey's age and look back, and he could look back at his last season of 2021 and go figure. Both Hauser and Malley had their best seasons, their finest seasons of their careers in 2021, that same year. So I think we're shored up as far as what the plan might be, but that's a complete guess. And I think we're going after a bat, and timing is everything. We've got 3 bats left. We've got Bo Bichette, whose legs, I don't know how his legs are. Guys, do you know how his legs are? Because I don't. And we've got Cody Bellinger, and we've got Kyle Tucker. Yeah. So that's just what I was thinking like tonight, and happy to hang out.
Mike, are you happy with Schmidt playing second base?
You know, I think Casey Schmidt's a good second baseman. Jeff Kent wasn't very rangy when he first started, but by the time he finished, he played the pop-up dance in the center field better than just about anybody else.
Okay, question
so
for
Casey
Mike
might
Bell.
be able to get there.
But does Casey have the same quote-unquote projection for a bat? Because Jeff Kent was an absolute beast with swinging the bat, and I don't think Casey is there, right? I mean,
no, not there at all yet.
And that's the thing. You could and right, Kent was a solid second baseman. Casey could be okay, but I'm concerned with his range. He just doesn't have the range to be able to get to those balls. But with Kent, he was able to make up the difference with the one swing of the bat, right? The guy he was a fantastic hitter. And I don't know if Casey Schmidt, maybe he could get there.
Maybe he can get there, Eric. But now all of a sudden, at the end of the day, we're comparing Schmidt to a Hall of Famer, Eric. That's a problem. What are we doing? We're comparing him to a Hall of Famer. Mike, I think you've heard me talk about it with Lou and Eric and the chat in general. Now I'll do it with you. There's just so many holes on this team, and it doesn't seem like you say they got to get a hitter. Well, what are they? When are they going to get one? There doesn't seem to be a sense of urgency here whatsoever when they're off in Korea and they're golfing and, on a cruise ship somewhere probably in the Pacific, Eric. Mike, I'm not happy. New Year's, and I'm not happy.
Hey, better the Pacific than the Caribbean. Just going to say.
Guys, I just have a question for Mike. We bring up Casey Schmidt. At times he was good. I know he had a rough year. He had surgery in this offseason. But in the majors, his batting average is 223. I'm sorry, 228. So here's a team that needs to get better. What's a 228 hitter going to do? I think Casey's great defensively. I think he's a lot better defensively than we give him credit. But we need guys that can put the bat on the ball. And I'm not saying guys that maybe, a couple weeks. We need guys that can do it, 2/3 of a season. Aaron Gonzalez asked who's better between Fitzgerald or Schmidt. I can't believe we're comparing those two because they're not. Neither of them are really major leaguers. Yeah. With the Dodgers, if they had those guys, would say, you know what, stay in Albuquerque. We'll bring you up in case we need you. And what frustrates me more than anything, thank you, Mike. Great call. Good to hear from you. Happy New Year. Is the A's have a more exciting team going into spring training than the Giants, which I think is a disgrace. Here's a team that Oakland didn't want them. Everyone complains about their ownership, but God, they have a youth that has got that franchise ahead of the Giants right now. Imagine when they have another good year, they have a better farm system than us. They're going to be going to Vegas where everyone's going to decide a destination. They're setting it up perfect. You could laugh at them. They're playing in a small ballpark. They're going to Vegas. Oakland didn't want them. But you know what? In a couple of years, there's a big difference. Hey, I'm not saying Matt Skills that Casey isn't a major leaguer. He's batting 228. I know with the Giants, it's really there. But you guys got to remember, last year, everyone said Fitzgerald because of the year before. These guys are young. What people don't realize, what teams do in the offseason. They see Casey probably batted 310 for them. They look at the hitting. What can we do to pitch him? Why do you think they have those little cards in the back? Pitchers know. He can't hit the inside curveball. Why? Because he beat us hitting the fastball. He killed us going the other way. So they adjust. That's what makes good teams. And solid pitchers, they know how to get these guys out. They might not know the first maybe couple rounds, maybe the first 6 at-bats, but trust me, bat 7 through 13, they know how to get them out because there's a big difference between a great pitcher and a hitter who's still learning his ways. It's just, I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
And you know what? Lou brings up a very good point. And, you threw out Fitzgerald's name, Lou. You mentioned Schmidt. For, 17 years, we mentioned left field. They never stick with anybody. It's always the future. I think the future's here. And then that lasts a couple of weeks or a season. How many is it? 17 years before Ramos got a couple of starts in left field? This is like 17 years in a row. We went with a different left fielder every year.
Opening
you need
day.
no
Opening
team
day.
in baseball. Do you need a scorecard more than the San Francisco Giants to know who's in the lineup? Who's this guy? I couldn't keep track. One night, Lou, I told Eric, do you remember, I think it was Bernice 3 seasons ago? 3 years ago on Metallica night, I got my Metallica hat, got there early. There were 7 players on the team from Sacramento. I was like, what am I paying for here? I was in the lower bowl that night. I had tickets down near you, Lou. What a waste. I didn't know anybody on the field. I'm like, where's Wilmer? He's hurt. Where's this guy? Oh, he's hurt. Where's this guy? Oh, they're giving him a night off. Like, and that's another thing pisses me off in sports. You got to you're making like 40 million. You got to have a rest day today. Fuck that. Jeez, I got to get up and go to work. And I don't make 40 million.
Here we go. Already dropping F-bombs. All right. Hey, let's. Hey, I know, Armand, I see you in there. We're going to get through this article and then we'll bring you in, buddy. Here we go.
He gets,
and I know Lou is just ready to hear what Susan Slusser from the Chronicle says. Guys, if you guys want to read the article, link is in the description down below. So go take a look. All right. Let's see what she has to say. The Giants seem weirdly inactive this winter. Here's why and what it could mean for 2026. I love the picture. That's a good picture, no? Good picture. All right, here we go. This winter is not for the impatient San Francisco Giants fan. Apart from the splashy managerial hire, dipping into the college ranks for Tony Vi, the team has done little to get the hearts elevated, or the heart rates elevated. With apologies to the new starters of Hauser and Malley. Things are so slow that the Giants hired Vitello on October 22nd, but have yet to announce the full coaching staff. What's going on? What? Come on. How? How can you not? Seriously? I've talked about that before, and look, whatever. It is what it is. It's January 5th. Shouldn't we have a damn coaching staff? Whatever. For one thing, it's a quiet offseason, relatively speaking, across the sport. We've talked about that. 6 of the top 10 free agents have yet to sign. Tucker, Bichette, Bellinger, Dylan Cease, and Japanese sensation Tatsuya, I think it's Tatsuya, have agreed to deals. All right? Blah, 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 blah. Many teams, it appears, are playing a waiting game. The Giants may not be swimming in the deep end, though. For top-rated free agents. Oh, where the hell did it go? Don't tell me. Okay. I have said that the team checked in on a number of big-name players early in the process and left it there. The team's top addition to date is Malley. Let me repeat this, guys. As of today, right? Just today. Doesn't mean nothing can happen in the future. Okay, come on. Stick with me here. Today, Malley is the biggest guy that they signed. 47th among this year's free agents by MLB trade rumors. Owner Greg Johnson signaled in November might be a sedate winter. Right? You don't want, again, this is quotes. Remember, when there's quotes, oh, you son of a, did I just lose it? Nope, not yet. Oh, I just lost it. Well, so much for that, guys. So much for that. So much for that one.
Leaving all hell break loose. Jesus, what happened?
Oh, hold on. Let's see if I can get back to it again. Oh my gosh, that sucks. Maybe I could get back into it. It went behind. I had it.
See, Lou, you bring up Susan Slusser, nothing good comes out of it.
That sucks. Hold on. Let me see if I can come back. If it comes back up, then I'll bring it back up. If not, then oh well.
You work on that. Lou and I'll just hang out with our buddy. There.
Nope.
The crab.
Nope. I lost it. Anyways, she also went on to say that Buster Posey wants to compete. There's no doubt about it. But she also alluded to ownership in the same boat, so to speak. Are they willing to go out there and spend some more money if they have to make the team better? We don't know. We just don't know. And it's and this is the part and she talked about it right in the beginning, right? For impatient San Francisco Giants. And look, now we're getting to the point of not just impatient Giants fans, just Giants fans in general, for the simple fact that look what we got, man. Seriously, come on. How are you supposed to get this fan base energized when you sign guys like Hauser and Malley and Hinches and Daniel Susac and who else did they sign out? I can't even remember who else they signed. I mean, what does that do? And look, I understand that you can't go out there every single year and just throw out a bunch of money. Last year, the Giants threw out a lot of money. But my expectations this year was just to go get a damn starting pitcher and a decent bat. I'm not even asking for a decent bat. That's it. Go get a legitimate starter and bring back a bat and then start working around the margins. But now the Giants are now at $206 million committed. $206 million committed when the CBT is at 244. And I just don't see them going much further. Last year, right? Last year, they were $25 million approximately under the CBT. Right now, they're sitting at like around, $32 million below the CBT. So I don't see them making that much more of a move. I think this is what we're going to have. And look, could we be pleasantly surprised? Sure. But I don't know, man. I mean, let me ask you, Glenn, Lou, what do you guys think? You think the Giants are going to make a splash, maybe with a trade?
I've said no since before our Christmas break, Eric. I think this, and listen, it's no surprise, Eric. They're coming out and they're telling you so. 3 weeks ago, it was, the purse strings are tightening. This is what we want to spend. Now they're saying we're content. We'll put all the pieces of that puzzle together, Eric, and you got what you got. But I'm really disheartened at the fact you both hit tonight saying that, how are you going to get excited, Eric? Lou's right on. Dude, when you watch last year, Eric, and I don't know how much of this you watch. I got the MLB package, and if I'm not at Oracle, I'm watching doubleheaders. I love the late games. You can start at like 4 and watch the East Coast. I watched a lot of Tampa games. Tampa was young, upstart. They were, played above 500. They lost as much as they won, but they were exciting. I keep calling them the Oakland A's, and rightfully so. They should still be there. The Athletics, a much more, whether they win or lose, if your team's got to entertain, right, Eric? Isn't that what we've been saying for a whole year now here at Giant Sports Talk Live? Have you been entertained? We're not being entertained. It's bland. It's very vanilla. It's, as I know Lou's favorite term, it's safe. And that's what we get. And it's not just, listen, guys, when you break down this whole scenario, it's not just the front office. Lou, you and I can speak to it because I got a bunch of crap lined over on the other chair here. Their marketing department is just as bad on the field and off the field, Lou. They're giving away some of the crap every year. I got a shirt. I mean, it hurts my nipples when I wear it. It's like this sheer, how many Hawaiian shirts do I got to wear that are a piece of crap? Come on. And by the way, I think, what was the one I picked out? One game on the list this year, Lou. One game they had a giveaway. I go, yeah, I could go for that one. But the rest, that's same old crap.
Your Valkyries, obviously the jersey.
Oh, yeah. Thank you. It's the
You're
Valkyries.
welcome. Yeah.
Mhm.
I think one of the things is I don't know why people are brainwashed. I don't know if it's the Giants ownership, the Giants front office, or just a lot of the Giants fans. So I'm just going to give you an example. MV7, I don't know who you are, but you're saying Fitzgerald is a trade asset. Who in the major leagues would want someone like Fitzgerald when he can't even start on our team?
Not even
Okay,
Colorado.
Fitzgerald, how can you call him a trade asset? We need about 25 Fitzgeralds to actually get a quality player. That's the problem is we fall in love with our guys because we think they're better. We think they have a higher ceiling than they are. Yep. And what the Giants and the fans got to do is we got to start thinking reality. Okay. I'm going to give you my first episode of 2026 Giant Sports Talk Live dating advice. When you date a girl, you can't go and get a Happy Meal or go to Round Table Buffet. You got to sometimes spend the money to please her. Okay. So the Giants got to spend the money to please us. Hey, I'm not saying anything's wrong with Round Table Buffet, where, hey, it's $15, you get unlimited pizza. But I'd rather go to a place like Capo's, a little higher grade. When you go drinking with the guys, you're going to get a bucket of Buds. You know what? You got to go and get a Tommy margarita at Tommy's Mexican. You got to spend a little bit more money and show her how valuable she is. And right now the Giants are just, they've had a sale now, the Giants, $10 tickets for 6 weeks. New Year's, let's offer $10 tickets. Hey, Giants, sign a guy. He's probably going to be number 10, $10 tickets. You can only go cheap for so long. You got to remember, our division is going to be tougher next year for a couple of reasons. Colorado is going to be better. Arizona is going to be better. We're going to say the Padres still have problems, but they're probably going to be better because they still have their things. And the Dodgers are going to probably be dominating. And the thing is about the Giants is we're still the same thing. As Dan said, pick a lane. Glenn says you got to tell us. What Manai just told us is we now are going two separate ways with our team. We're going to stick with our youth, but we still have our two veterans. We're going to try to use a right fielder cheerleader to be our right fielder, but we're going to stick with our veterans. So now we have, not only are the Giants more mixed up, we're now not even in a lane. We have two different buses going two different ways. That's a problem, and it's going to be a problem where you now have a new leader who's driving the bus, who took over my position, being the head of the bus driver, and we have no clue how he's going to be. Because he's going to have to take care of the youth, which I think he'll do a good job with because he's used to college players. But then he's also going to have to, take care of the veterans. And you know how baseball teams are. The good ones all adapt. They all got to be on the same page, put their egos away, and do whatever it takes to win. But you're going to have Tony trying to please two different people. It's like dating a girl when you have two girls. Girls have that sixth sense. They know when they lie to you. They know all this stuff. That's why girls are girls. You can't lie to them, right? And once you make one mistake, sorry, you're out. You got one shot at glory. That's it. And the Giants right now, they just are – it's almost like an amusement ride. You're hoping it's going to get better, but I just waited 4 hours to go on this amusement ride, and that's it. That's how it's going to be.
You know what, Eric? You and I started the show with it, Eric. I was pumping up our great night, our highlight of the year. One of them, Krusty Krab, was good for me there, or whatever his name is, the crab. And the night I called the Wilmer shot, I got the T-shirt to memorialize that night, the called shot heard round Oracle Park. But we're looking into the crystal ball again. You know what they're saying, Lou, for the 26th season? It says, Lou, Eric, and Glenn are going to have more fun in Buena Park at medieval times going to dinner than going to Oracle Park.
Hey, medieval times. I went there twice. Great time, man. Awesome. Anyways.
Be careful when the horse lifts his tail, Eric.
Hey, yeah, exactly. I totally forgot about him.
Smells
I
like
can't
the
forget
Giants.
about our good friend in New Jersey, Armand, the contributor of the year last year. What is up? Hey, real quick, before I get to you, you made a move today. You guys signed a former Giant. As a matter of fact, who is the former Giant that you guys just signed? Listen to this. This guy was so touted by the San Francisco Giants. This guy batted nearly a 400 in Sacramento, right? There was clamoring. Oh my God, we got to bring this guy up, bring him up. Well, they brought him up. They thought so much of this guy. You know what number they gave him? No, they gave him the number 22 to good old Christian Arroyo. The guy that you just could not part with. You couldn't do anything. They wound up trading him for Longoria, if I'm not mistaken. And now he's signed to a minor league contract for the New York Mets. Again,
Good luck.
It's just more evidence that sometimes prospects just don't work out. Sometimes.
We're cooking now, boys. I just came in to check in like every MLB team on every free agent. God. This is so aggravating.
Hey, Lou, you must have been impressed with Armand the other day. He wins the award, our first annual awards night. He wins an award, and he's all excited. He claims that at least a Met brought home a trophy this year.
Yeah, a Met brought home a trophy.
That may be the quote of the year.
That was awesome.
Oh, poor Armand. Armand, we're on the same. We're like the same, similar fish.
I am sick and tired of seeing insert team checking in, interested in trading for said player or free agent player. That's what I'm sick and tired of. I am like I've said before. Teams, owners are freezing out the current market until next month to get these guys on short-term deals with opt-outs.
You know what we're really looking like, Armand? I know
that's what I think Managian said today with the Giants. I know Lou was talking about it, and then we're going to go with the youth and our two veterans. I think he's saying, look, if we could get Ranger or Framber on a 3-year deal with an opt-out after one come, February 12th when pitchers and catchers report, we'll take it. Because they'll opt out after the season.
Hey, Lou, maybe we won't be the last dog at the bowl, Lou. Sounds like the Mets may be worse off than us.
Well, I think if this happens too, and the Giants fans got to remember something, there's 30 other teams that are going to be thinking the same thing.
Yes,
it's not like they're lined up. And the one thing, Armand, I saw a show today online where the Mets guy was sort of pissed off because it turned out, I guess, and I don't know if this is true, that the Mets offered 3 years, $66 million for Diaz, and he went to the Dodgers for $3 million more. 3 years for $69 million. I don't know if you heard about that today. So here's one of the richest men in the world, and he got outbid by $1 million a year, and he lost his prize.
Well, this is what happened. They gave him that offer. They said, if you get a different offer, we come back to us and we will match it. What happened was we signed Devin Williams. We never told him that we were going to do that. Supposedly he got upset and he just said, call the Dodgers, see if they would match it a little bit more. And he was never coming back to us. So he got hurt. It's like, I think if they told him, hey, we are going to build the bullpen around you, we will go. We are going to sign. We'll look to sign Devin Williams to be your setup man. Like if they gave him the plan, he probably does come back. That's the only one that I'm really heard about is Diaz. I expected Alonso to leave. I'm happy Nimmo's gone. He's 32. He has neck issues. He has plantar fasciitis. He was declining badly in the outfield. That contract was an aberration. He only got that deal because we lost DeGrom and he was playing center field for us at the time. He had a deal from the Rockies, but of course we had to go above and beyond and give him 8 years. So I was happy to get rid of that contract. And when that type of contract, you're doing 3 types of deals. Trading for Marcus Semien type of contract, that's less in years but more money, more salary, AAV. You're paying it down like we did with Scherzer to the Texas Rangers and got back a mid prospect in Acuna. Or you're taking one of your top prospects, whether it's Jonah Tong, Brendan Sproat, Jet Williams, Carson Bench, and saying, here, team, here's the contract, but here's a top prospect. We don't want the contract at all. We want nothing else in return. We just want a said salary. So you got to pick your poison. And I'd rather do the Simeon trade than do the other two.
I know the Mets, you got to remember, you still have one of the best players in baseball on the Mets. Compared to the Giants, I know you lost Diaz, but are the Mets, with that trade and the big pickup today of Arroyo, are you guys better this year than you were last year?
Defensively, yes. Offensively, no.
Okay. Because, if you heard what I was saying, I think the Giants are worse in almost every aspect. The other thing we haven't even talked about, and I don't know if the Mets are affected too, but, with our president doing what he did in Venezuela, I don't know if those guys are going to be able to get backs. You have the leagues there. I don't know if the World Baseball Classic is going to be affected. I'm sort of surprised when Eric said, hey, Buster's in Korea with Tony, the Giants left fielder is in Venezuela. Also, Mr. Flores, Glenn's buddy, he lives in Venezuela. So I don't, there's different things, but I didn't know if you guys
I'm pretty sure, Lou, every team has called their players that are in Venezuela to make sure that they are good, their families are good, to make sure that they are safe.
Yeah, there were some tweets saying the Giants had checked in on Luis Matos and Luis Hernandez, the guy that we're supposed to be signing.
The catcher.
Yeah. So
speaking of Luis Hernandez, the international free agent is January 15th. I think that's a reason why a lot of signings are not happening, because a lot of teams that are in the luxury tax, like the Mets, if we were to sign a player, we lose $1 million in international free agent money.
Correct.
And we just stole Wandy Assign from the Yankees, their top international free agent signing. He came to us and he's signing for $3.8 million. And the Mets, being where they're at now in the luxury tax, we have a total of $5.4 million in IFA money. So we're looking to make a trade to get more IFA money, and the most you could get in a trade is $250K. So the Mets, I'm gonna assume they're trying to make multiple trades to get $250,000 in each trade to build up our IFA money. Yes, twist your dreams. The Mets are not done, but nothing is gonna happen until possibly after January 15th. I'm betting on, just like last year with Pete Alonso, Nick Pivetta going to the Padres, Bregman going to the Red Sox, spring training, come February, you're going to see a lot of these guys get 3-4 year deals, maybe with an opt-out after 1, maybe an opt-out after 2. That's what the teams are doing now. They did it to Machado and Harper when they were free agents.
And here's the question. Does this sow any goodwill between the players and clubs prior to your CBA, or does it throw a little bit of fuel on the fire for when the good negotiations start? It may get ugly.
It's fuel to the fire, and I will die on the hill. There will be the 2027 season will be totally gone. I will die on that.
The whole season's done.
I think the owners are gonna. Excuse my language. I know Glenn's cursed, but the owners for the salary cap are going to stand on their third leg, their dick, and will miss one whole
I don't
season.
say that. Whoa, I say fuck a lot, but I don't say that.
Wow.
They will miss a season. They will miss one season.
You think so, huh?
Yes.
Could happen, Eric. Could happen, buddy.
And there's 3 owners I'm putting right at that.
Surprised me anymore.
and there's 3 owners I'm putting at the head of this: Hal Steinbrenner, Tom Ricketts, and John Henry. Because they have aligned themselves with the small market, cheap owners with the salary cap.
Yeah, that's called collusion, though. You're not allowed to. You can't do that.
That's hard to prove, though.
Can't be colluding.
That's hard to prove. That's the only thing because it damn well happens. Come on.
Geez, Armand, you're going to start saying, I heard Joe Beningo over there on the fan today. You know what? The Mets, Giants, we're right up there with the Jets. He was going, losing his freaking mind. You know, as only Joe Beningo can.
Yes.
I think they finished 3-14 or something like that.
Yes,
so,
we did. 3
You know
wins
what?
only.
I tell you, we're back to the old, unless you're a Yankee fan, I don't know what there is to be excited.
Oh no, Glenn, Yankee fans are pissed. They haven't done a big move yet. For them, it's Bellinger or bust. By the way, Hal has come out publicly and says he does not want. He's like, I don't want to hit the $300 million mark on the luxury tax. I don't want to hit it, and I don't want to go over it. I went to Fangraphs today, and estimated payroll. Estimated payroll for 2026. This is estimated. Do you want to know who has the estimated lowest payroll for 2026?
Giants. Oh, wait.
No. They're in the middle. Giants are in the middle.
Tampa?
I'm going to say it's either Tampa or
Colorado.
Pittsburgh.
Miami, $73 million.
Woo! Damn.
San Francisco is at 185.
It's actually more than that. Well, yeah. They're not. Yeah, never mind. It is. But they're not taking into consideration the CBT, though.
Yes.
That's the problem. Because right now the Giants are at 206 when you take in consideration the CBT.
The Pirates are at 99 for everything they've done.
Wow.
But the Yankees, all they've done this year is bring back Ahmed Rosario. They haven't done a big move, and that's what's pissing off Yankee fans, because it's basically Bellinger or bust for them in free agency. They're not going to sign Kyle Tucker if they miss out on Bellinger. Supposedly they made a second offer, and today on the Yes Network, on the Yankees Hot Stove, Jack Curry reported, yes, they made a second offer, but according to him, from his sources, the Yankees, and he probably got this from the Yankees, them and Bellinger are far apart. Far
apart?
Yup. He says,
and what's isn't the numbers are like 150 in like 6 or 7 years, something like
supposedly they've offered 5 for 150. Supposedly Boris and Bellinger want 6 years.
So that he wants 180 then. 6 and 180.
He probably wants 6, 180.
Wow.
There's been rumors of them trading Jazz, and then some people are running with it. Ooh, if they trade Jazz, they could sign Bo. And Yankee fans and baseball fans, I'm here to tell you, if they trade Jazz Chisholm, it's not to sign Bo Bichette. It is to move Anthony Volpe when he comes. It's to move Anthony Volpe when he comes back from his shoulder surgery, to move him to second base. Now they'll use Rosario, Caballero, Oswaldo Cabrera, and any other, like Jorbert Vivas, like any other infielders they have. They will rotate those guys between second and short until Volpe comes back. They will move him to second base, and then they will call up the top prospect shortstop George Lombard to play shortstop. It is not to trade Jazz and get him out of here and just to sign Bo Bichette. I think Hal is willing to sign Bellinger. Nobody else. I don't think they're not in on Framber. They're not in on Ranger Suarez. They would make a deal for a starting pitcher like an Edward Cabrera, which I also did my homework. I Googled his injury history.
Yeah, he's got a lot of injuries.
Why doesn't that surprise me?
2021, right bicep inflamed nerve. He came back in June. 2022, right elbow tendonitis from June to August. He had a right ankle sprain. He came back in October. That's the year they made the playoffs. 2023, right shoulder impingement from April to May. 2024, right shoulder impingement, came back in May. Right bicep discomfort, got hurt in May. 2025, this past season, a recurring right middle finger blister in March, and then he had a right elbow sprain in August and September.
When you hear the reoccurring bicep issue, you know what that tells you, right? It's the elbow. Elbow's going to go. Elbow's going to go.
When I hear impingement, I think it must be bad. I don't even know what that one is.
Yeah. When you're talking shoulder, it's no joke.
Impingement.
But when you hear a lot of the biceps and in an actual elbow discomfort or tendonitis or whatever the hell it was, you might want to stay away from Cabrera for that simple fact.
By the
And
way,
to
did you see who's in the chat, Eric? I brought him up a little while ago there.
Hey!
Morcana.
Morcatna. If you missed it the other day, Morcatna was chosen the fan of the year, even though now look at him. He's coming in hot tonight, Eric. Look at that. That's it. We're done. No more additions.
I don't think that's kind of where I'm at, man. That's kind of
all I would say is, I hate this word, but I'm using it, and it's okay to be upset because nothing's happening league-wide, with the exception of Akamoto and Aime because they had deadlines.
They had deadlines, yeah.
Patience, people. Just please have patience. Next month, pitchers and catchers report, and I firmly believe that's when you'll see signings. Maybe something happens after the 15th, after the IFA signings are done, so teams don't have to lose IFA money like the Mets.
Cheap. Lou, we got to lock Eric and Armand up in a padded room, but there you go.
There is.
Patience. We'll go cheap.
No, there's validity in having patience because, again, there's guys and trades really haven't developed
for too many years.
And here's the thing: is the trade market really hasn't developed. I mean, what was that last trade? It was the Mets one, right? That was the last somewhat big trade. I don't know if there's been any other big ones. Yeah, because I mean, you had Grayson going to the Angels, and then you had
Taylor Ward,
right?
That
and
was one of the earlier
Simeon,
ones.
Nimmo, and then after that, it really hasn't been it may be minor stuff, but nothing big. Nothing for a legitimate starter yet. You know, everybody was talking Peralta. And even the Twins pitchers, Ryan and Lopez,
and I know
the Miami
pitchers,
Alcantara.
I know why the reason for Lopez, Ryan, and Alcantara. So they have those three pitchers in general have 2 years of control left. So because of the lockout, teams are looking at those guys as if there's a lockout and games lost. If the season is lost, go with me, folks. Are you going to trade a package of 2 years of control, but you're only getting 1 year of starts? And look at all the injuries I just read for Edward Cabrera.
Yeah.
The pitching injuries are an epidemic. So if you trade for Joe Ryan, Sandy Alcantara, or Pablo Lopez, who has an injury history, what happens if they what if they injure their elbow strain, elbow discomfort?
Yeah.
Now they're done for the season.
Yes.
Now there's the lockout.
Yeah.
You've gotten no starts from them if they got injured in spring training or in the regular season. You might get 3, 4, 5 starts based on when they get hurt. And now the lockout happens. They go to free agency.
Mark's asking a question. How much, what's the over-under on Mendoza getting the axe? What do you think?
While you think of that, Mark, I hope your young fellow's feeling better, too. I was thinking about that the last couple of days.
Yeah, they had the stomach virus going on.
Yes.
They were gonna show up for the New Year's Eve party, but they couldn't.
Better.
It's all good. I hope you're feeling better, Mark. You and your son.
Over
Well,
under
what do you think?
wins and losses? Like where they're at wins, losses wise? Oh. I'd say
Or maybe seasons. Maybe seasons.
like how many months?
All months. You could even go there.
Let's see Memorial Day where they're at in May.
Memorial Day. Ooh. Whoa, Memorial May.
That's Memorial Day is kind of your first quarter mark, right?
Yeah.
You got Memorial Day, you got 4th of July, then you got Labor Day. Those are
That's
your
what
three.
It's become for Armand.
Those are your signature moments in a baseball season.
Listen,
to
unless
kinda
they
take inventory.
unless they go winless in April, which I highly doubt a team's going to go winless in a month. We're not that bad. And Mark, I just I'll tell you this, and like I'm telling everybody, let's see what the Mets look like come spring training when these big players are still on the market. And that's when I've said this for myself and to my Met friends, I've said, look, if these big free agents sign short-term opt-out deals with other teams and not the Mets, that's when I am going to criticize David Stearns and question him.
All right. Real
Mets
quick,
friends?
before we get out
Mets
of here.
friends? I didn't know there was more of you out there.
Yes.
I just want to get this from Armand real quick before we get ready to get out of here. Where do you think some of these big guys? Let's just talk about some of the big guys. Framber, where do you think he goes?
I said San Diego in the chat. I'm going to stick with San Diego on an opt-out.
San Diego.
Opt-out deal. Opt-out
Wow.
deal. All my decisions are based on being
That's
signed
fine.
next month
I just
on
want to
opt-out
know.
deals.
I just want to know. What
That's
about Kyle Tucker?
I think he's coming to Queens.
Homer.
Look at that.
No.
How about Bregman?
Arizona. I've heard he wants to.
Arizona.
I heard he wants to live in Arizona like Corbin Burns did last year. That's why Corbin Burns begged the Diamondbacks to sign him.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bichette.
Bo goes back to Toronto.
Toronto, okay. Ranger.
He's the tough one. I think he goes to Baltimore, though.
You think he goes to Baltimore? You don't
Because I think Baltimore tries to go for Framber, but they lose out on him and pivot to Ranger.
Wow. And Bellinger, do you think Yankees? Or no? Where do you think Bellinger goes?
I think it's Yankees or Mets for him or nowhere else. And you know what? Just to piss off Yankee fans, he goes to the Dodgers. Don't
be surprised if the Dodgers make a big move.
I think what they do is I think they sign him, they put him in center field, they put Pajes in right field for his defense.
Jesus.
Well,
the good news, we talked about it on New Year's Eve, Eric. Lou, Eric and I were talking with all our friends in the chat about how baseball binds us together, brings us together, and at the end of the day, it's all about having fun. We don't have to wait long, boys. Giants and the Mets, 4 games at Oracle, April 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. We get the season underway quite nicely. We play the Yankees.
Both New York teams come to San Francisco.
Mets. Yankees and Mets.
Mark, I just want to answer Mark's thing. His prediction says Tucker to the Yankees. I can guarantee you this, Mark. If they don't sign Bellinger, they're not signing Tucker. I 100% guarantee that. They will. If they sign Bellinger, either Dominguez or Spencer Jones is traded for a starting pitcher. But if they don't sign Bellinger, they're going to run it with Grisham, Dominguez, Spencer Jones, Aaron Judge in the outfield. I guarantee they're not in on Tucker.
All right, there you go. Thanks for coming in, Armin.
No problem, guys. Good night. I'll see
Have
you
a good one,
Friday.
Armin.
See you Friday.
Hey, did you email us? Did you send me an email? Shoot me an email if you didn't already. I want to get that taken care of and off my...
Yes, I did send an email that night.
Okay. Oh, I bet you did. Yeah, Lou, you should have seen him. It was like the red carpet. I'd like to thank my cousins, my nephew for making it possible. Oh, I can't.
I heard his acceptance speech.
Oh my God! I put him in the green room for 15 minutes. I come back and he's still talking. I'd like to thank.
That's why I didn't see the whole show. I was
just looking into it one final time tonight. I looked into the crystal ball, Eric, and I saw that Mike Val was going to come into the show, and boom! This thing works. Mike Val.
How about that?
More Katna, who was the fan of the game. He came out a little cranky tonight, but he was here. And I see Dan. Our buddy Dan. Dan is going to be tuning in to the #1 Giants channel more often. He was here tonight, too. It's all here in the crystal ball, baby. Who needs an 8 ball? Who needs an 8 ball when you got the crystal ball? It tells me the Giants are going to freaking suck.
All right. Lou, do you think that, before we get out of here, do you think the Giants make some type of splash before the end of the offseason or not so much?
I'm surprised you're not talking about the Giants released one of their players and he got taken up right away. That's sort of the Giants' moves.
Joey Wiemer?
He was with us, 15 seconds? He was flavor of the hour. The Giants will pick up a couple of crumbs where, they just won't make a difference because you got to remember some of these teams might sign somebody. They got to drop a guy from the 40-man roster. That's where the Giants are, hey, this guy had talent 5 years ago. You know what? It won't cost us much. Let's do it. Those are the moves sort of the Giants might do. I'm not.
And before we sign off, Eric, I said it before. I'll say it one more final time. I probably say it again because it's our show, but we've done more in the offseason. We made the big pickup. We signed Lou Marsden. Mm-hmm. Got a new sponsor over there. Tommy's Mexican joins Lefties, Duxwell, better credit cards, signatures for soldiers. I tell you, we're having a great offseason ourselves over here. And Lou, part of the team, welcome in 2026, Lou Marsden.
There we go, man. Hey, that's the show for tonight. How about that? This is going to be tough. I don't know what else we're going to have to talk about come Wednesday.
Lou,
Honestly.
Eric texted me today. He says, I think we should just do a show every Monday night.
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, this is tough.
Until something happens. No, I understand.
This sucks. No, seriously. I mean, this stinks.
Or do a Monday, Friday.
Maybe, maybe.
Or just Monday, Wednesday, and then this way we'll have something to talk about the following Monday.
Yeah, the following Monday. Yeah, maybe.
Hey, Robbie.
That may be a. Hey, what's up, Robbie? What's up,
I heard Robbie's going to be at the bowl game on Thursday. So have fun there, Robert, traveling, especially with this weather.
Man.
What bowl?
He's going to be on the field, I think, from what I heard.
Well, where's he going, Lou?
He's going to the Miami. I guess he's down in Phoenix for the Fiesta Bowl. It's Miami against Mississippi State.
Robbie Dizzle?
Hey, right? Look at Robbie Dizzle, man.
He's a man about town, Eric. You and I are
man.
I've come to the realization you and I are peasants of the world.
I know. Yeah. I mean, hey, we're a couple
hanging
of
out.
fools talking Giants baseball.
Yeah, see Fiesta Bowl. So yeah, Robert wrote me. He was all excited. And again, what's great about Robert, he's going to be on the field. Yeah, quite. What do you expect? That's what we expect from you, Robert.
Yeah,
well, you trained him well. He's always hanging around He's always around the cheerleader section too, Lou. Yeah. I think you trained him. He's paying too much attention to Lou Mars.
It's the dating tips. Yeah, exactly. It's classic.
Good to see you, Lou, buddy.
Good to see you guys. Thanks. Good to be here, and looking forward to a great 2026.
Take us home, Eric.
On. All right, let's go, guys. Be good, and we'll see you Wednesday night. Woo!
You've been watching Giant Sports Talk Live with Eric and Glenn, a Northern Lights Entertainment Broadcasting production.